assistant plugin. So what did I do? I downloaded all the public transport route relations in Malaga. I did that using file download from Overpass API with this query. So I have all the highway bus stop, all the public transport platform, all the stop positions within that area. Then for all those nodes, I want all the ways that and the relations that they are part of. Then I want all the highway platform, all the amenity shelter, nodes that are tagged as amenity shelter. I saw people doing that too. Um, and then all the relations route bus. And for all those, all their members. So here you see that this is from big to small. That means all the members, and this means everything that this nodes are a member of. We need to output that. Okay, and then the timeout is a little bit higher. So I just did that. And that results in this. What I do then is Control F. And here I'm going to search for, there we go. Here I'm going to search for every highway bus stop that is not having a tag public transport and that is not a child of a highway. Start. So here I find all the ones that can easily be converted to platforms. So let's add them here and then zoom to the first one. What we see here is that this is tagged twice, double. I don't know why. What we also see is that this one is for line 11 and 18. So here we can add route ref 11, 18. And this name can go. Then I can merge these two. And then we have a stop position there with an elevation. Every node in Malaga has an elevation apparently. I select both of these and now what we are missing here is bus is yes. So I'm going to use this button and that's actually this tool, transfer details of the stop to the platform node. There. So now this one is a platform. This one is a stop position with bus yes, but no other, nothing else. Okay, so I do mark, I go to the next one. Here I find a bus stop. I find a stop position. So these two should be together. And then I select that one and I use my tool. And I prefer the ones that are not abbreviated. So again, all the details went to the platform. Let's keep doing that for a while. So these two get merged. Select that one too. And I go on. So here we have a bus stop with details here, a stop position without details. That's good. Now it got buses yes. And this one became a platform with buses yes and highway bus stop. Where did the buses yes go to? Bus yes. Okay. Mark. So let's look at the next one. I already did this, so I'm not going to undo each and every one of them. I'm going to find a few cases So here, this is, yeah, that's already done. So if I select this one and that one, then this one gets a buzz, yes, okay. Here's Avenida. Okay. Here again, two are mapped right next to one another. This one has Rev 1160. This one has no Rev. So these two are actually representing the same stop. Again, I prefer the ones that are not abbreviated. I'm keeping everything here. Assigning the stops to the relations is something I'm going to work on later on. So yesterday evening I was doing this for 2 hours to combine and to transfer all the details over there. Now I'm going to pass over a bit more quickly. So here again, somebody mapped a platform. Somebody else mapped a bus stop. I merged them. I select the stop position and then I leave behind a better situation, I hope. But now I'm trying to find. So now I find all the ones that are, I searched for all the highway bus stop that were not part of a highway. So all those need to become a public transport platform. I can do that. Shift public transport platform and double click on bus yes. Can do that like that too. Here again, things are tagged twice. This seems like a better name. And here the stop position also has details. 2459. 2459 is the same. So here I transfer all the details from the stop position to the platform node. Okay. I'm going to pause quickly because this is not the version I'm going to save. I'm going to jump to the version that is already processed. So I'm not going to do everything here, in order not to bore you too much. But what I'm trying to find is a place where things went really wrong. Okay, so this one is already removed. So then we get that message. You can also use a button. The closing rectangular braces. Yeah. So this stop position is red. This means that it doesn't have bus yes. Now it does have bus yes, and all the details are there. Here are the same. That didn't work because this one doesn't have stop position. I can use my tool there to make it a stop position, and then it does work. So now this is public transport stop position bus yes, and this is platforms public transport platform bus yes, with all the rest of the details. And the route ref in 11 semicolon N1. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, so the other search that I did was where they are child of highway. Those are the ones that need to become stop position. Start. So I find 88 of such nodes. I'm going to add them too. I'm going to go all the way down. So this is one that is part of the, for those, what I did is I created an empty node there, and then I used the tool to transfer the data. Why is this not working? This did work yesterday. For some reason. So apparently I need to make this into a stop position. Then it does work. And then this one, I'm copying it. So I'm doing Control D to transfer it to the side. The imagery is not good enough to know if there are shelters there. So I use this one to this map mode to add, to create, to convert this one into a stop position. Then I use that one. And then I use Control D. Only it's a one-way road, so it's only on one side. The other one too, I guess. Yeah, but as I said, this is not the one that I'm going to continue with, so I'm not. So anyway, this it says it's put platform there. I convert this into a stop position. This can be empty. It will get all the tags. Highway bus stop, public transport platform, bus yes, and then all the details. Whereas this one, yes, stop position. Now it's still member of these relations, but I'm also going to change that, and it's going to be that one that becomes the member of the relations. I'm going to quickly jump through here. I'm going to use 8 to go back because I saw something. And 9 brings me is forward, or 7. That'll work. These ways are not needed either, so I used another search for a highway is a footway, child, highway, no, parent. That is a parent of a highway. Stop. And this way I found 24 ways that are all for 2 nodes. And I could simply delete those. Here, this one should be a stop position. And then I can use that tool once again to convert that one into a platform. Here. 2003 as a ref, 2003 as a ref. So somebody mapped these twice. So we merged them and then we transfer the tags. So I did that for all the stops. Now I'm skipping some. This also needs to be merged. These also need to be merged. 2101, 1904. So apparently these are separate. Centro and Norte. So this one actually belongs here. 1904, 1605, 1701. Yeah, so this one belongs somewhere over here. Once this is cleared up, I can. Oh, these are not the same. So this 1904 that I moved over here seems to belong to that one. Okay, so we move this one a bit over there. It's a bit strange because centro, centro, centro. So these two belong together. This one. This one is actually the same as that one. So it can be merged. 1208. 1208. So these belong together. What you could also do is create a stop area for those to indicate that they belong together. So here again, 3501. So these, I merged them. These 3501. I merged these two. I don't know why they are there twice. And then I only want the details once on this platform node here. So I've been doing a lot of that, a lot of cleanup, because very many things are take double. No idea how that happened, but that's basically what I've been doing for about 2 hours yesterday evening. Then I also found some abbreviations that I wanted to expand. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to go to the result of all that. So I'm going to remove this one. Normally I would upload, of course, but in this case, this was just as an example. I'm going to switch this one on again. And then I'm going to go back to what I was doing this morning. I zoom to a line. I start editing it. I find that this line is already continuous, so that's good. Supposedly goes from Santa Paula to Birena. Okay. Now, since all the route refs are not all, but since many route refs are already filled out and we are working on line 15 here, I can do something quite impressive. Use a regular expression search. And the condition is that route ref is either the beginning of the line plus 15 or something that comes before, whatever, and then a semicolon 15, or it's a semicolon and something that comes after it, or at the end of the string. So if I search that, I find all the stops that have a route ref 15. I'm going to add those. I also still find a stop position where these tags were not transferred yet. Now they are. So now the stop position is devoid of any details. All the details are there. So this is okay. Now, now I can save this and check if this is public transport version 2. It is. Good. So this stop is not in this route relation. So I'm going to select more stops that are not in this route relation. This one, this one, this one. This one can stay. This is the opposite direction. So here the stops are or don't have these route ref tags, and then it's a bit harder to work with. But in the center they do. These that are here in yellow, I can easily remove them with this button. Now they're all gone. And now I'm going to do, okay, I could start ordering these, but the PT Assistant plugin, I'm going to zoom so I have the route selected again, also has a tool to sort the stops. So now if I go and have a look, I jump to the first one. Then this 15.1, 15.2, 15.3, it's not extremely visible. 4, 5, 6, 7. So now they're ordered as the route passes along them. If I would have a bus stop here, that would be nice, but I don't. But it's obvious that the buses are stopping here. Now I can do something else. These two are gray. Okay, so if the save button would be blue, then I would press it and the relation would be saved. Now I'm going to use this add stop position map mode again, and I'm going to add a stop position here. What you see happening is that this way is split because it's the last way of the relation. The way is split. This part is not added to the relation, this one is. But I do need to save because now here I get the wrong representations. No, I don't. I need to refresh. And then I find that this is that way. Okay, so that was convenient. Now I'm going to the first one. But here I don't see any sign of a bus stop, so it might be more north or south. Here it's difficult to add that stop position. So here I'm going to do that. Okay, so the 15 is done then. Now I'm going to work on the other 15. I'm going to zoom to the first one here once more, and I'm going to say edit. I put this on the side, and I mark this one as done. Now I go to the other one. Now I can use my search again for everything with route ref 15. I'm going to add those stops. And now they're all selected. Now I'm going to select the stops that are in this one because I know that these are for the opposite direction. Now they're all yellow here, the ones that I know already that I won't be needing, and I can remove them easily. Now I'm going to check for continuity of this way. It is continuous, that's good. So now I'm going to zoom again to the relation. So it's selected. And again, I'm going to use sort PT stops. So before this would have meant, especially if there are a lot of stops, this would have meant a lot of manual work. But now with TPT Assistant, a lot of that work is taken out of our hands. Here we find another that doesn't have a route ref, but that's obviously also this way is going to be the first way of our relation. So what we can already know as well, if we select this first stop here that we had, is that here we also need a platform node, and that platform node can also be added. Let's look at that one more in detail. Name doesn't make sense there. So actually it's the operator of the network that's EMT. Let's have a look at another one. I'm not sure if it's the name or the network that should be EMT operator. It's operator, sorry, operator network. So it's operator that has to be EMT. So I'm going to deselect this one again. And so this is not name EMT. This is operator EMT. So there you go. So for these two stops, we don't know the names, but we do. We can add the stop because it's obvious that there is a stop there. The buses are parked here, and it's also the end of that line, which means that the other 15 line will also need this platform. And then while we're at it, since we had a platform here, normally I would expect that there will be a counterpart on that side of the street, but I'm going to leave that to local people to map that. What we do see here is that there are more stops that we can add to this relation. If the bus passes there, it would be odd that they wouldn't be served. But now probably we see 15, 7, 9, 8. So these two are not in the right order. So we can see here 15, 7, 15, 8, 15, 9, 15, 10. So now we you have this as a guide to know that the stops are in the correct order or not. So we could try to add more stops, but I'm not going to be able to do everything here. It's going to have to be checked anyway. Okay. So that's that. And then I'm going to jump to the next one. I'm going to do this one, then I'm probably going to stop. But it's the same thing. So I edit the route relation. I check for continuity. It is continuous. Then I do my search. I find all the stops with a route trip of 40. I also find one here that is not yet transferred to the platform node. Okay. And then I save this. If it's version 2, then it's going to be text like that. The thing here is that these are not served. So here I have to do this manually, but once I have them for one route relation, I know that those stops, except maybe for the first and the last, are not in common between both lines. And then I can use the other trick. So this one is supposed to be in there, and this one isn't. So there you go. I can easily remove them. I can save, I can zoom to it so it's selected. I use tools, sort PT stops. Now it would be a lot more convenient to have that button there. So I'm going to use configure toolbar. Here under tools, I find my sort PT stops. Yeah, so I'm going to transfer that one over. So now it's there. So now I have an extra button there. So now if I zoom to this, oh, I know that's the wrong. I added the wrong button. So sorry, configure. So I need to remove that one, and then I'm going to go to tools. Where are you? Sort PT stops at. Okay. Again, I managed to do it wrong. How is that possible? Tools. Sort PT stops. Ah, now it's there. Okay, good. And by the time it arrives here, I don't see it there anymore. That is odd. What's going on here? I'm going to lose my sanity. Configure toolbar. Tools. There's something really odd going on here. Probably something with an identifier in the code, maybe. Anyway, so I have the route selected. I can do tools, sort PT stops. Okay, so I'm going to open this one once more. Then I'm going to mark this one down and open this new one. Edit. Check for continuity of the ways. Those are okay. I find all the stuff with reference to 40, adding them, saving. And now here I'm going to select all these. And then here these become green. I can easily remove them. Okay, zoom to the relation. And then use tools, sort PT stops. And have a look at the route relation and check whether something odd happened here. It's going in reverse. So what I should have checked too is whether this is the first or the last, or so apparently these ways are in opposite order. So I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to jump here. So apparently, oh yeah. So we start on this way. Yeah. So we start on that way, then we go around the roundabout, then we pass like that. So this is our first stop. That one we need in there. And then the stops are apparently all in reverse order. I could sort PT stops once more. I can also simply flip them. And then here at the end, we need to add this platform. Okay, then we save. Now here is an extra way that needs to be added, but now it's too long. No problem. I use this new map mode. I select the stop position node and automatically the way is split. Now I have to refresh because otherwise it's going to have the wrong way in the route relation. So I refresh and that's it. Well, it would have the correct way in the route relation, but the route relation editor wouldn't know about it. And if I don't refresh before I continue working with it, then I will get a conflict later on because a change happened in the map and a change happened in the relation editor, and then you get conflicts with yourself. That's not nice. Okay, so that's that. So I'm going to show One more thing that you can do with the PT Assistant plugin, you have here an edge selection mode, and if I select here, then all of a sudden I have 21 ways in one go. Because as far as the plugin is concerned, all these ways are connected without without any forks. This is because I didn't download a whole lot of data. If I would download around this roundabout, for instance, then the way splits. So if now I'm in this map mode and I select, then I only get 3. If I press 3 to zoom to the selection, then you see that it's here this way up to where it splits, to the other end where it splits again. This is really convenient to add ways to the route relation. In this case here in Malaga, all the routes were already quite okay. It was mostly the stops that needed work and the route revs that were in line or lines or node. Um, the the tool that transfers the elements is also taking care of that. Is also going to um, if it finds lines, it's going to become router. If it finds a node with a sequence of identifiers, it's going to become route ref. If it finds route ref, it's going to sort them. Okay. Now that is not. This is something really good that that PT Assistant plugin can do. The real well, these are tools that make mapping a whole lot more convenient. But there is also the validation. So I'm going to run validation on everything by having nothing selected. So first I pressed S, I clicked somewhere, and then I made sure I didn't have anything selected. It finds some errors in the coastline. I'm not going to work on that. Oh, come on. Yeah, anyway. So there's one way minus one. I usually simply flip those, pressing R, apply, and then it becomes one way is yes. It doesn't seem to find problems in the public transport. It does find here in this hiking route, it finds a problem. Let's have a look. So now it colored the hiking route, and there are many interruptions in there. Yeah, so now many are already, when I sort, it already clears up a bit. Here you can see highlighted. When you're working on it, you see some arrows to help with forward, backward rolls. But in this route, in this hiking relation, those are not as needed. But I'm not going to dwell on that. It would have been nice to find some some public transport problems, but there are none in this file. So actually, that's also better. So I'm going to leave it at that. This is quite advanced with this search in the route ref, and there's many hours of work to transfer those details, and then we're not even sure that they wanted that. But there's a lot of cleanup that happened because the stops were there twice, the stop positions to the platform nodes were there twice, the stop positions were there twice. Yeah, a lot of work has been done there. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. See you.